They've battled it out for 9 rounds across the globe in all conditions. For one of these 3 men, rallycross immortality beckons. Who will scale new heights in World RX? It's the showdown in Cape Town. Hello and welcome to the final round of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. The city of Cape Town and the stunning backdrop of Table Mountain hosts the most anticipated World RX weekend ever. The Mother City made its debut in 2017 and has become one of the favourite venues on the rallycross calendar. Killarney Raceway, situated in the shadows of the region's most famous landmark, is a real test for the drivers, and a deal announced recently to continue until at least 2021 means the championship will continue to enjoy this amazing part of the world. It's been a wild ride to get to this stage in the championship. Let's take a look back at arguably the most exciting World RX season ever. The 2019 season kicked off in the heat of Abu Dhabi, and there was serious drama in the desert. Pre-season title favourites Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backerud collided at the Joker merging Q3 when the Norwegian miscounted his laps. The massive damage ended a visibly shaken Hansen's weekend, and Backerud was disqualified. Come the final, it was Kevin Hansen who led until Niklas Gronholm made contact with the Peugeot's rear to take the lead and the flag. That was short-lived though. No sooner had the fireworks petered out than the steward stepped in, handing Hansen Jr. his first World RX win. World Rallycross was back on European soil for round 2, and the final saw the big 3 fighting it out to finish on top of the podium. With little brother playing wingman off the line, Timmy took the lead and never looked back. Try as he might, Backerud just couldn't find a way past the determined Kevin, and the finish line saw a historic 1-2 for the ecstatic Hansens, who also took an early grip on the team's title. Spa's purpose-built rallycross circuit featuring the iconic Eau Rouge made its debut in 2019, and the action it produced was next level. Big hits, big passes, and a show-stopping performance from Timur Timosyanov. The final saw the Russian take advantage of first corner contact between Backerud and the impressive Yoni Wieman, who was deputising for a sidelined Niklas Gronholm. Timosyanov led from turn 2 and brought it home in style. There was no more popular winner in the paddock, and the celebrations were pure Timur. Silverstone saw the 2 Abu Dhabi rivals up the ante in the title fight. Championship leader Kevin Hansen dropped the ball in the semi-final, leaving big brother Timmy and his nemesis Andreas Backerud to fight it out for the win. The pair just about avoided carnage at turn 1, and then it all came down to Joker strategy. Timmy went early for clean air, and when Backerud finally took his, it was too late. Timmy took his 2nd win of the year and the championship lead. Andreas would have to wait to break his duck, but the disaster of Abu Dhabi was firmly in the past. The venue may have been hell, but it was when the heavens opened that the racing caught fire. Niklas Gronholm returned from his appendicitis nightmare and was bang on the pace, while Kevin Hansen edged out both Timmy and Andreas Backerud for the last slot in the final. Off the line, Kevin Abbring took the lead from Gronholm as Hansen bumped his way past as well. A lap 1 Joker and some incredible pace in the rain, and it looked like Liam Doran could take a World RX win. But with less than 2 laps to go, his gear stick broke off, allowing Anton Markland through to take a first win for both him and GC competition. But it wasn't to be. A technical infringement disqualified Markland. Then the stewards demoted Kevin Hansen for his first lap push to pass, and the debut win finally went to Niklas Gronholm. The magic weekend conjured up a win that no one saw coming. The new spec OMSE Fiesta debuted in Hollius, and with local boy Sebastian Eriksson at the wheel, it had the crowds backing from the off. Amazingly, Eriksson took pole in the final and got the whole shot. Timmy Hansen lost time in a first lap Joker, and when both brothers squabbled over track position, Eriksson saw his chance. A perfect Joker kept his lead intact, and despite a last corner lunge from Kevin Hansen, a most unlikely and incredibly popular win was his. Andreas Backerud came to the North American round of World RX needing to smash it out of the park to stay in the title race, and boy did he deliver. The tide turned in the final race of qualifying. After a disastrous turn 1, the RX cartel man was bang last. And then this last lap chaos gave the Norwegian a lifeline, and more importantly left Timmy Hansen limping out of the weekend before the semis. Backer had seized his chance with a flawless lights to flag victory, and with championship leader Kevin Hansen ending the final parked, the Norwegian's first win since 2016 meant he leapfrogged Timmy to go second in the standings. A three-way title fight to be World RX King was on. Loeak saw all three big guns make the final as the championship reached the business end of the season. Backer had looked to be in the box seat off the start, but contact with Niklas Gronholm put paid to that. Both ran wide and the Hansens took full advantage. Timmy cleared off into the distance, but Kevin was the star of the race. With every point crucial, he pulled an extra gear in a spectacular joker that brought him out ahead of Backward and the rapid Rokas Pachuska. A double podium delight for the Hansens, but Backward took a 2-point lead to Riga. A wet penultimate round of the season added to the tension in Latvia, but the final saw a dream start for Timmy Hansen after an impressive fight back from a dreadful day one. Timo Timoziano created a diversion, and from then on it was plain sailing for the older brother. Backward took third, but Timmy's fourth win of the season puts him back on top heading to South Africa. It's been a season to remember for the World Rallycross Championship, and it's not over yet. So with just the final round to play out, this is where we stand in the three-way fight to be crowned the new World Rallycross Champion. It couldn't be closer. Timmy Hansen leads Andreas Backward by just 1 point, with Kevin Hansen a mere 7 points further back. And as we've seen in this seesaw season, a gap like that means nothing in Rallycross. This one is just too close to call.
This has been a fantastic season. It's definitely my most successful year ever in my career, especially with the 4 wins I've got. But also it's been a year of a lot of up and down, so all added up, here we are now in the mix in the last race, and it's super close.
The tactic this weekend is just to go for it. I'm 8 points behind Timmy. This is the race of my life, so I will have to put everything together, and for sure I will just go for the win. It's nothing else I can do on my side than to try to score 30 points this weekend and somewhere hope for their misluck.
What we need to remember is that we have done this for so many years with myself, Timmy and Kevin. Since we was 8, 9, 10 years old, we was doing racing with karts. So doing races is normal, but fighting for championship titles is different. The funny part with Rallycross is you can make as many plans as you like and it still doesn't work out. So I think we just need to go with the flow and enjoy the race and enjoy the position we are at. And yeah, take it as it is.
Kevin has to go for everything, but so do I. You know, it's 1 point between me and Andreas, so if he finishes in front of me, he's going to be the champion. I have to perform. It's the first time I'm racing properly for the World Championship, and who doesn't want to be World Champion?
Will it be one of the Hansens? Will it be me? What will happen? Like, this is what I dream about, winning the big races like this one. Yeah, I think it's one. I think this one will be in the history book for a long time.
In the team standings, Hansen MJP's healthy lead means barring a disaster, they should wrap up the title this weekend. A fantastic achievement for the family team that worked so hard to get their cars on the grid for 2019. As the drivers gear themselves up for the last time this year, let's take a look at what challenges this Killarney track holds for our title hopefuls. It's the 3rd year in a row on the calendar for Cape Town in South Africa. Just over a kilometre long clockwise circuit with a safe turn 1 and a last corner joker. High temperatures and sunshine in Cape Town as qualifying got underway would dust be an issue. Race 1 and Niklas Gronholm got a clear hole shot on the run down to turn 1. The Finn was on fantastic form, never looked back from there and took the checkered flag. Race 2, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen had chosen to race together to lessen the odds of an incident in turn 1. Timmy, around the outside of Kevin, would hold on to that position until the checkered flag and set a time which would not be bettered. On to race 3, Andreas Backward without the backup of his teammate Liam Doran. Doran had an engine failure in free practice. Backward lost the start, but took Kaliakowski in turn 1. A brilliant move by the Norwegian. He's almost as quick as Hansen. The final race of Q1. Gulan Shisharit with a good start, but Sabo out-dragged him down to turn 1. He then got hung out to dry. Timozyanov was hanging it out too, sideways for the Russian. He edged out Sabo on the Joker tactics to take the checkered flag. Hansen wins Q1. The grids were reversed for Q2 with all the fast guys in together. Gronholm again with the whole shot. Contact behind from Timmy Hansen. Baccarat at the back of the pack. Gronholm was in fantastic form despite the track having been watered. He set an incredible time and gapped the world's best 3 rallycross drivers from this season. Brilliant job by the Finn. Race 2, Timozyanov had seen what his teammate had done and was keen to copy him. Markland tried to go round the outside in turn 1, but it was the Russian who took the lead while Sabo ran wide. Timozyanov was pushing hard. He almost did enough to match Gronholm, but not quite. Behind him, Scheider and Markland squabbled for P2. It went the way of Scheider. Shisharit got left on the grid as Kaliakowski beat his teammate Baumanis down to turn 1. The Latvian looked faster, but he couldn't find a way past. In the end, it came down to joke lap strategy, with Baumanis coming out in front. The final race of Q2, and Liam Doran broke a drive shaft off the start. A disaster for the RX cartel. Out front, De Ridder and Cyril Raymond went side by side into turn 2. Tharashkin put paid to Raymond. De Ridder went P3 in Q2, but the overnight TQ was Gronholm.
We've done a good job in the races we've done, and I would love to be in the championship fight coming here, but I had the problems with my health, so yeah, it's a pity we're not in the fight. I would have loved to battle the guys, you know, throughout the season, but yeah, like I said, it is what it is, and the only target for me this weekend is to try to win the race.
Fantastic performance by Gronholm to win Q2 in those slippery conditions. Hansen holds on to P2 thanks to his winning Q1. Kevin Hansen and Andreas Baccarat further down the order as the track dried for the later runners. At the minute, Kaliakowski and Shisharit are on the cusp. Can Doran make it and support Baccarat in the semis?
Turn brakes to handle him. At the moment, they've got 600 cc's in. Suzuki Motors, I think, probably.
Andreas, it's a big day. You've got a lot of support here, and of course the team are getting everything ready behind you. I'm nervous. How are you feeling?
I actually feel pretty well. Like I woke up this morning and I stomped on my right leg before left leg, like I always do on race days. And yeah, sun isn't shining, but the weather is good, so I can't complain about much. Of course, I was 7 tenths behind Timmy yesterday and 7 points behind him. I have a job to do today, and hopefully we can find that little extra to move up the ranks and be in a better position for the semi-finals. The job is there and it needs to be done, so yeah.
It's a big day for you, it's a big day for the championship. I know that Matthias Ekstrom is here. Is he helping you? Is he able to sort of coach you mentally, physically? What's he doing? Yeah,
I mean, Matthias has been in this position many times, and the experience he has is you can't pay in money. It's just something you need to go through. And but also, yeah, he is helping. The whole team is helping. We are working as a big group. Liam, even though he had some issues yesterday, is still helping out the team massively. Yeah, we just try to do our best. We can't do much more than that.
We'll let you get in the zone. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Right, let's walk along here, see if we can find someone else who's having a good day. Guillaume, it was a really good day for you, it felt, yesterday. Finally, things seemed to come together. Can you repeat it today?
I will try. I will do my best. So obviously yesterday we were a bit helped by the track conditions, but still I think we found back the pace that we didn't have in Q1 because of a small brake issue. Now the brakes are okay. I have confidence in the car and I can do what I want with the car. So that's why also we were in the rhythm in Q2, and I will push and do my best to repeat it in Q3.
Give us a sense of what it feels like when you finally find confidence in the car on a track like this, because this is a very dynamic, dramatic track.
Yeah, I mean, here you have to have very good confidence in the car. On top of that, with the track markers, it's getting quite tricky because they are really close of the racing line, obviously. So you really need to have full confidence, trying to push the car at the limit. and not to overtake it. Otherwise, you touch the track markers, and we've seen that few of the drivers yesterday took penalties or DQ. So that's why you need to have the confidence in the car to be quick here.
And very, very briefly, just let me know if you can have an effect, do you think, on the championship battle today?
No, I don't think I will have an influence on the championship, and I don't want to. So I just want them to race and make the best win.
Thank you, merci.
Merci.
Formula One car, and I'll tell you what, that thing is pretty quick around here.
Hello from Killarney International Raceway. My name's Andrew Coley, Dan Rook on co-commentary, and Neil Cole reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid. Here's how we stand as we go into Q3. Niklas Gronon was the overnight TQ. Timmy Hansen in P2, the World Championship leader. Tim Asjanov, Scheider, Kevin Hansen backward down in 6th. Markland, De Ridder, Sabo, Bamanis, Kaliakowski and Schiesrit are currently in. Everybody else fighting for a place in the semi-finals. Here we go then, Q3 about to get underway. Let's take a look at the grid for race 1, and you'll see that it is a 5-car grid. Very clever. Liam Doran has been withdrawn from Q3. A technical issue apparently ahead of the racing, which means Backrud moves into pole in the first race with Bennett, Schiesrit, Farashkin and Raymond. He needs to get the whole shot here. He's in P6, that's not bad. Notice he hasn't put new tyres on the car, so they'll be saving those for the semi-finals and for the big championship fight. There he is, heat haze off the track, but as we say, it's only actually 20-degree air temperature. Track is 26, so they were about 10 degrees down on air and a good 15-20 degrees down on track temperature at this point. Crucial start for Backrud. Here we go. He's got it done off the line. Bennett drops back. Backrud's on the inside. Farashkin, the only one with him. Backrud's on the inside. Going to be on the brakes nice and late. Doesn't get collected from the rear. I was worried he was going to get contact there. I think it's still Raymond who's up behind him, so it is Andreas Backrud into turn 2 sideways. Bit of contact there for Schiesrit. That may be from his teammate Cyril Raymond again. Farashkin's up the inside, and I think so Schiesrit into P2, Raymond's dropped back, but Backrud absolutely got it done. He had to. Now he's got to nail the lap stand.
Yeah, he really didn't crack under the pressure there, so got that job done. I was worried he would be collected on the way into turn 1 because there was contact behind with Bennett and Schiesrit. I thought maybe they would have collided and sailed on into Andreas, but luckily that didn't happen for him. And now you can see he's nailing the gap. It's already 1.7 back to Schiesrit.
Well, that is huge in one lap, but this is tactical genius. Whether it doesn't matter whether there's a problem with Liam's car or not. The team are entitled to do what they want to do with it, and this is brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic job by them, but he's just, of course, got to hope that he can be the top qualifier at the end.
Now, we looked at 40.6 for Backrud as a lap time. That's absolutely massive, isn't it? We were in 41. Yes, is that the fastest lap of the weekend?
Yeah, that must be the fastest lap, I'm sure of it, and that's off of the line as well, so... Yeah.
Okay, so Backrud, that's interesting. Backrud was about P13 in morning warm-up. We noticed he lifted through turn 1 twice, Dan. I think they were hiding their pace during free practice this morning.
Yeah, potentially they found something overnight because he limped around and he even pulled off the track early in the morning warm-up. It's just gone a 40.7 from the racing lap, so really strong performance.
And on used tyres as well, so Andreas Backrud is not on new boots according to our graphics, and 40.6 and a 40.7 is absolutely smashing the lap times. Dan, this, obviously the Hansens would have clocked what they've done. They may even have discussed it last night and gone, I'm willing to bet they pulled Doran. The teams have these incredibly detailed conversations about what might have happened, but now Backrud's got the whole shot. Now he's banging in the laps. He's piling the pressure back on the other way.
Yeah, of course. Timmy and Kevin are going to be sat on the grid watching this. They'll have their spotters in their ears saying, my goodness, they've just put it, he's gone sub 41-second lap time. So you boys are going to have to pull it out of the bag, and of course that's then playing on the Hansens' mind.
Yeah, great. Fantastic performance from Andreas Backrud. Fantastic fight in this incredible year of World Rallycross action. You're looking at Farashkin and Cyril Raymond. Now we cut back to Andreas Backrud at the front of the field. A 40.7. Again, he's gone sub 41 on all 3 laps. Andreas Backrud now into the joke lap. He's going to look for a perfect lap here too. Watch him into the apex. He'll come deep and late. Maybe rotate the car on the handbrake just a little bit. Straightens it out early. Lovely job. Carries good momentum through. So yesterday's fastest time was a 2:52.6 from Timmy Hansen. What's Backrud going to do here? Over the line. 2:51.1. Fastest time of the weekend for Andreas Backrud. Yes! Fist pump inside the car. An emphatic comeback, and that is the gauntlet thrown down early in the morning here. World Championship Sunday, and Baccarod's got it done in Q3. Oh, what a drive. What tactics and what a drive. You have to get it all right. You can't just do the tactics. Baccarod had to do the job there as well, and he did. Brilliant. There are the Baccarod Blues. They are as pleased as Andreas Baccarod is. Result of Q3 race 2, Andreas Baccarod with a 2:51.183, the fastest time of the weekend. Absolutely brilliant. 1.5 seconds quicker than Timmy went in Q1 yesterday. Gulen Shisharit, Zoremon, Matvey Farashkin and Ollie Bennett.
Andreas, tell us exactly where all that extra speed just came from. That was impressive.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. Just the start was there, the racing along the track. It's very hard conditions because it's very different from yesterday. So it's hard to read it. Every lap is changing a little bit. The crew put a lot of dust decks on the track. So it's very high grip actually on the gravel today, especially turn 3, turn 6. I would say I said on the radio to the guys I was 100% happy with the race. Just turn 6, I was at 92%. So there is a little bit more, but I think I should be happy with this run.
It's a good start to the day. Well done.
Q3 race 2. Our other championship protagonists are in this one. Kevin Hansen on the pole. Janis Baumanis is next to him. Then it's Jiri Kaliakowski, Timmy Hansen and Christian Sabo. New boots on the front for Sabo, on the left-hand side for both Kevin Hansen and Timmy Hansen, so they're holding a couple of tyres back. We know both the start cars are very good starters, and bear in mind that Baccarod just got a good start. Sabo's on the opposite side of the grid, of course, but this is a much tougher race for the Hansens, and that's another part of the genius tactics of RX Cartel and EKS. Brilliant start by Timmy Hansen, an absolute rocket off the line. Kaliakowski contact with Baumanis on the inside. Sideways, then they're going to drop it. Timmy comes around the outside with his brother Kevin. Up on 2 wheels, Kaliakowski goes round Sabo on the outside. Kaliakowski dropped it, Baumanis up the inside of Kevin Hansen. Hansen gets attacked from the rear, goes sideways, Sabo in the dust. Timmy Hansen leads, Kevin Hansen P2. Somehow they've come out unscathed, and we're on for a championship fight now.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin's got a slight bit of bodywork damage there, hasn't he? But nothing that's going to hamper him, and this is what the two Hansens had to do. They knew they had to come out 1 and 2 after the first corner, and they've just delivered it. They do it every time.
The hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. This is the best World Rallycross Championship ever, I'm calling it. Timmy Hansen now has to chase down those lap times. First lap for Timmy is a 40.3. So 40.3 goes quicker again. He's got 3/10 quicker than Baccarod. He's responding.
That's just fantastic by Timmy, and he is, I've always said it, he's one of those drivers that can pull out 3/10 when he needs it, and I don't know how he does it, and that is exactly what he's delivering right now.
Absolutely brilliant. Of course, Timmy had a nice clean start, was out in front again. The carnage was happening behind him. I just don't want anything to happen to these guys in a mad start. And, you know, yes, the tactics were great from Cartel and EKS, but actually now the Hansens have managed to get the start done if they can get the lap times done too. Let's see what Timmy does this time round. 40.3 last time. 40.2, thanks very much. I'll click another 10th off. There we go.
Kevin Hansen's on a 40.5 as well, which is a 10th faster than Andreas' best too. So Kevin Hansen as well could be looking to see these guys slotting in P1 and 2 after this race.
Yeah, and that might see Kevin, of course, nick a couple of points off Baccarod during qualifying. Overnight, Timmy Hansen was P2, Kevin Hansen P5, Baccarod P6. So if they can out-qualify, you know, Kevin would love P2 if he can't be the world champion, and there's nothing to say he can't be the world champion at the minute, because there's only 8 points in it, and that's the difference basically between winning the final and being last in it. So, just absolutely epic. Timmy Hansen crosses the line again, and it's a 40.0. He knocks another 2/10 off. Timmy Hansen wants to be the world champion. That's the 3rd time you've seen that graphic in this race. He's just gone faster than Baccarod on every lap. Now he's got to nail the Joker lap. Timmy Hansen's turn to get it right. So far, he's absolutely perfect.
It's just a fantastic job, isn't it? The Joker lap, Andreas was at 43.0 his Joker lap, and now it's the moment of truth. What can the Hansens do?
2:51.183, fastest time of the weekend for Andreas Baccarod so far. Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen almost on identical lines. through the Joker lap. Look how much he's gapped his brother. Timmy coming down to the braking zone now. Over the crest, through the dip, over the line. And he's absolutely knocked it out of the park. 2:49.2. He goes 1.9 seconds faster. That's incredible.
Amazing job, amazing job. His Joker lap was 3 tenths up on Andreas as well.
Amazing. Unbelievable to me. Oh, God, well, fair play to the Hansons for responding. What did Kevin do? 2:51.3, just misses out. So Baccarat gets Kevin by 2 tenths, but Timmy Hansen with the drive of a world champion there to do a 2:49.2. Kevin Hansen is second, Bauman is third, Sabo and Kaliakowski didn't even get to see them because Timmy and Kevin were in a bit of a different postcode there. But that, look at that, your top 3 in the World Championship, in World Championship order at the top of the table. Wow. Off the line, then look at the start Timmy Hansen got, but then it was the contact between Kaliakowski and Baumanis that made me so nervous. I was like, please don't drop it and take out Timmy and Kevin. That, you know, we want a fair fight. Kaliakowski goes off out to the side. Sabo with a big old drift. Kevin gets a little nudge from Yanis. That's okay though. By now they're P1 and P2 down, and that was well, maybe that was 20% of the job done.
Yeah, I mean they had to do that, didn't they? But I mean you could almost argue the time loss that Kevin had to Baccarat. The 2 attempts there he lost.
He's in turn 2. Yeah. Turn 2, yeah, with Baccarat. But incredible job by Timmy Hansen fighting for the World Rallycross Championship.
Timmy, just tell us, where did you find that pace? That was incredible.
This was, I think these 4 laps were one of my best races all season. That was a perfect run. I was absolutely flat out. From the very first corner after the start, launch was also great. And then every single corner, every single time. I knew this was an important race, and I'm super proud that I could pull this off. So yeah, it feels great. I'm super happy to see Kevin behind, like in my mirrors. So yeah, now I'll refocus, I'll do Q4, and I'll approach that the same as I did now.
Well done, thank you.
Final race of Q3 coming up. We've seen incredible performances from Baccarat and Timmy Hansen. Our World Championship top 3 are at the top of the table, but we have some very quick people still to come. Niklas Gronholm, overnight TQ winner yesterday of Q2. Timosyanov, Derrida, Scheider and Markland. Derrida yesterday was P3 in Q2, which is his best performance of the year in qualifying. He was helped by track conditions, he knows that, but it's good to see him getting a good result. Timosyanov and Gronholm have been absolutely flying. They were P1 and P2 yesterday. They're P1 and P2 on the grid for the last race of qualifying. Can they match those incredible lap times of Hansen and Baccarat? Jump start. No, Niklas. Niklas Gronholm jumps the start.
The one person that looked like he could have topped Timmy in this session.
Yeah, that's a big relief for Hansen. So the graphics top left said Gronholm, which should mean it's been triggered by the timing equipment. So we think, well, it's Gronholm. Restart for the final race of Q3. Niklas Gronholm jumped the start the first attempt. Hopefully he's going to get it right this time. He definitely won't be beating the Hansens. Could Scheider or Timosyanov, Markland or Derrida do anything about those lap times? My money's on Timosyanov or Scheider, if I'm honest. But it was such a good run from Timmy Hansen. Can anyone match them? Gronholm gets a worse start than his teammate, but somehow he's fully up the inside. Derrida goes inside. Scheider going to try and go around the outside of all 3. They're 3 wide through turn 2. Derrida's up the inside of Timosyanov. Almost into the back of Gronholm. Gronholm's going to get the whole shot. As they come around, Gronholm leads then in P2. It looks like Derrida is on in the wall. Is it Mark attacks the wall in the background? Timosyanov P3 looking up the inside of Derrida. Can't make it stick though. Gronholm holds the lead, trying to come around the outside. Derrida now. Scheider's looking up the inside. 4 cars. Who goes Joker? Scheider goes into the Joker and Markland's gone with him.
This is too messy to even touch Timmy's times already. They've all lost so much time, and Niklas is the only one that hasn't, and he's got 2 Jokers. I think it's safe to say Timmy's got this one in the bag.
Absolutely, Dan. He's done, isn't he, basically? So, Hansen, Baccarat, Hansen, I think will be the top 3 in this. Gronholm, as Dan has rightly said, has got a double Joker at the minute. He could do 2. Timazyanov trying to get past Derrida. I think he's up the inside this time. He's side by side with him. Going to try and flick back the other way. Now he's on the line to the rear of him. He touches him over the jump. Timazyanov trying desperately to make the pass. Derrida goes defensive. So Guillaume is desperate to hold on to his position, which I understand, Dan, but he also will be losing time by having to be defensive. Tough position to be in. Derrida goes Joker. So Derrida's gone into the Joker lap, and this will be to try and cover off the guys behind. So we'll see how defensive he's been. Too defensive to get past Scheider. Scheider's going to get him. Is he going to be able to get Markland? So Markland, Derrida manages to hold on from. Oh, super late in the race. Go on, Guillaume, get in.
For me, I think Gronholm should have gone in on that lap. He already had the gap.
Markland's managed to get past Derrida. Yeah, agreed. He's got 2 to do. You might as well have stuck one in when you had the chance. So Markland gets past Derrida. So Gronholm still with 2 jokers to do. Timazyanov 5.1 seconds back. Scheider here could be on for getting this, you know, because with Gronholm having 2 to do, and he's close enough to Timazyanov at the minute, who hasn't jokered. So Gronholm goes in for 1. He's going to come out of the lead, though, isn't he? I reckon Gronholm's got time for both, Dan. I'll take it back.
Yeah, I think he could do as well. I mean, his lap times he's set at 40.2, so he's very much within the region of the top 3 drivers.
Niklas, that jump start. So Niklas Gronholm has put in, to be fair, so yeah, he's done at 40.3 or 40.2. How does that Joker compare? 42.6?
The Joker is the fastest Joker I think we've seen.
Oh, Niklas, no! So the jump start has ruined Niklas Gronholm's chances of winning this session. But with the laps he's doing, he could still get a halfway house result. And he was miles in front in the intermediate standings. He was 7 points up on Timmy Hansen. Niklas Gronholm goes in for his 2nd Joker of the race and is still going to come out in front, which goes to show you just how fast he is.
Scheider make his mistake in the standard lap as well.
Oh, Scheider's sideways. Is Mark going to be able to out-drag him? Or no, Scheider's got a problem. Timazyanov out in front of both of them. Markland versus Scheider into that chicane. Over the line. Markland gets P3, Timazyanov P2. Gronholm, though, with the win. 42.6 and a 42.8. His jokers were great and a 52.0. He goes 4th. Niklas Gronholm is 4th with 2 jokers. Unbelievable. It is all going off in South Africa. Niklas Gronholm takes Q3 race 3 with a double joker and goes P4 in the session. I think he'll hold on to TQ. Timazyanov, his teammate, 2nd. Mark and Scheider, Derrida, the crowd have applauded that. It was a bit too carnage to be right up there, but look at that. Double joker, and he's still P4, but it's Hansen, Bakker and Hansen, the top 3 in the World Championship at the top of the table in Q3. What a session. I'm gutted that Niklas jumped the start because, Dan, I think there was a chance there that he could have got the job done on Timmy.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you take away the Joker lap delta there, I was trying to do quick maths in my head, but of course, you know our maths isn't our strong point.
It's not our strong point.
he would have definitely been there or thereabouts with Timmy's time.
Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Look at Timazyanov darting to the inside. Gronholm looks so close to the markers. Niklas will be crossed, but as I say, I actually think he'll hold on to the top position. I'm not sure. Timmy, we think, might have taken it. So Timmy might have taken it. So, but Niklas Gronholm absolutely in the mix in terms of pace. Double joker lap. There's Scheider making that mistake on the inside, and that's what allowed Markland to get through. So, but a brilliant job by Niklas Gronholm, except for that jump start. What happened?
Niklas, incredible pace, but what happened with the jump start?
No, I overheated the clutch. It was a long wait, and it got too heated and started crawling. So yeah, not much I could do there. But it is what it is.
Well done anyway, thank you.
Let's take a look at the standings then overall after Q3, and it's World Championship leader Timmy Hansen who is in P1. Andreas Backwood was 6th overnight. He moves up to P3. Niklas Gronholm drops down to P2. Kevin Hansen is in 4th. He was in 5th overnight. So your World Championship top 3 are in the top 4 during qualifying. They're on the front rows in the semi-finals. It's Timazyanov, Scheider, Markland and Baumanis down to 8th. At the minute, Shisharik, Derrida, Sabo and Kaliokoski are in. Ollie Bennett, Farashkin, Raymond and Doran looking for slots, but Doran, look, cannot make it. He can't support Bakker in the semis.
For this kind of tournament, they run with 600cc motorcycle engines.
Last time this season then for us to take a look at some fantastic slow motion pictures from Saturday's practice session. Guillaume de Ridder coming through turn 2 over the curbs underneath Table Mountain, which is quite the backdrop. Dan, this track's going to change a lot during the course of the weekend. We saw during free practice a fair bit of dirt out there, but this is more about curbs and track markers here in particular.
Yeah, so the drivers have to be really careful to not hit those yellow bollards. You can see that Balmanis just went past there. That's the track marker warnings. So it's a challenge to try and avoid those, and also to tackle the tricky gravel.
So this is turn 2 to turn 3. Watch for the transition between the two corners. We saw very different techniques employed by the drivers. Backward, they're much closer to the markers. You can see him running the tyre over the top of the curb. This is Markland down the next chicane. Now it's heavy braking there, and where the road creases up away from the standard track, there's quite a lot of compression.
Yeah, so the suspension's already compressed on the brakes, and then as you turn into the corner, it's compressing again. So as they come through the right, then of course they go up over the crest. The suspension starts to go a little bit lighter again, and then through the left over the curves there. Really, really heavy impact.
Anton Markland heading onto the dirt section at the bottom of the track, and the joke lap you can see there heads off to the left. Super dusty during that morning warm-up session. So Liam Doran, again with the transition from right to left, he was spectacular up in turn 3 during the course of the morning warm-up session. Cooper tyres scrabbling for grip, particularly then as they go from the tarmac to the loose. You can see the wheel spin increases just a bit.
Yeah, so the track here is quite dusty, so of course having to monitor their throttle positions as well to get maximum traction.
Timur Yarnov through the same section, popping the Hyundai up over the curbs. Here's Ollie Bennett, and this is down at the hairpin. Now, Dan, this is absolutely crucial, and it's different in a supercar than in an RX2 car. Bennett here sideways on the way in.
Yeah, so sideways on the way in, able to use the throttle to keep the wheel spin momentum going, but you've got to be too careful not to buzz it up too much, otherwise you're going to be losing traction. So you can hear the drivers as they come through, they're really patient on the throttle to try and find the grip.
Using all the curb as well, and you can see the outside tyre there is right on the edge of the dirt, and that's why we sometimes see some holes on the inside of the track here, because the drivers are so keen to use all of the curb. Now, Timmy Hansen contrasts it to Bennett, less sideways in the braking zone coming in towards the apex, and then rotates it a little bit later.
Yeah, so Timmy getting his braking done in a straight line, rotating the car around, and then like you can hear that Timmy would be very patient on the throttle, using higher gear to pull away and to try and get the maximum speed as they come to the Joker merge towards the finish line.
Ashley Smith trying to get this up and running. Local.
Here's how we stand going into the final qualifying session of 2019. Timmy Hansen at the top of the table with Niklas Gronholm in P2, Backward and Kevin Hansen. So the world's top 3 are in the top 4. Then Timur Yarnov, Scheider, Markland, Balmanis, Shisharit, de Ridder, Sabo and Kaliokoski currently making the cut.
Ashley Smith trying to get this.
The first race of Q4 saw one last chance at redemption for Liam Doran, who suffered a torrid weekend. There was a bit of carnage up in turn 2 involving Kaliokoski as well. Kaliokoski was actually disqualified from Q3, meaning it would be very hard for him to make the semi-finals and a possibility for Bennett to sneak in. Though at this point they didn't know that. Farashkin knew his weekend was over and he parked it at the barrier. Doran took the checkered flag. Race 2 Q4. On the inside, Cyril Raymond won't make it this weekend due to a DQ for track markers. Timo Scheider is in P6. It's a great weekend for him. It's his birthday today. Christian Sabo 11th, Guillaume de Ridder 10th. De Ridder will be pleased just to make it. Sabo, I think, would like to be further up the grid. Christian Sabo's blown a bit hot and cold for me this year. He did brilliantly last year on his couple of outings in Supercar. He was very, very good indeed. Be interested to see what he decides to do for next season. Listen to that. Time to launch down towards Table Mountain, and it is super. Maybe the best start for Scheider. He has indeed beaten Cyril Raymond away from the grid convincingly. Sabo on the outside. De Ridder moves to the inside. Sabo hasn't seen him. De Ridder was 3/4 about the inside. Good move by Guillaume de Ridder. His teammate now is in behind. Oh, he's been tagged by Cyril. Cyril Raymond tags Guillaume de Ridder. De Ridder pulls back and in front. Cyril Raymond goes down.
I think, Guillaume.
Oh no! So de Ridder's going to try and have a look through. Surely not any damage. Come on, Guillaume. Scheider's out front. Let's see the rear right of Guillaume's car. Contact again for de Ridder. Derrida goes Joker, Cyril Raymond's gone with him. Is that car damaged? It looks okay to me, Dan, but it's hard to tell at this point.
Yeah, I think I saw from the camera angle, it looked a bit, it might just be bodywork, I'm not too sure. It just looked like the wheel was facing outwards a little bit.
So Derrida then with the rear right, let's see if we can see it through the chicane. Look for the rear, yeah, why, is it bodywork or?
I'm not sure, it looks a bit odd, doesn't it?
It does look strange, so Cyril Raymond is in behind him, but Cyril really could do with staying out of his way for this one. I think it's intact, but it doesn't look like it's tracking quite right, does it? So, and it was Cyril that hit him, so, you know.
Yeah.
End of the season, isn't it? You don't have to worry quite so much about your team at the line. Cyril might have done it on purpose, we know that.
Yeah.
It's turn 1, turn 2.
These two have got a bit of a love story as well, if you follow them on Instagram.
Oh, they get on quite well, don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they share apartments and stuff when they're staying away, don't they, sometimes?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I saw, was it Guillaume that put up the story of Cyril doing the cleaning, or was it the other way around?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, good guys, both two young drivers. It's been a pleasure to have the GCK Academy along. Oh, backed it in that time. Careful, Guillaume, we don't want a track warning. Teammates got one of those already. Yeah, it's been great to have the GCK Academy along. Yeah, a couple of extra cars in the World Championship. Sabo over the jump, but Scheider's gapped him by 2.8. Two GCK guys have gone joker already. Scheider's going to wait until the final lap. Sabo goes now, so Sabo into the joker lap. 3.5 seconds he had over Derrida. Should be enough, I think.
Yeah, he should be safe with that one.
So what do we reckon if he's going to come out? Well, let's see the gap as it crosses the line. It was 3.5. It's now 0.9. So is it 2.5 then, roughly, the joker, isn't it?
Roughly, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So 2.5 seconds is what you want to be keeping your eyes out for. Joker time shouldn't change too much, should it? Because it's tarmac for the most part, but the inside lap time could change. That's where we've seen the holes in the past. Scheider a little bit deep on that apex, obviously pushing hard.
Yeah, pushing really hard, just tiny bit too late on the brakes there, but I mean, he gathered it up all fine, and he's still got that gap back to Szabo.
2:57.345 is Jiri Kaliakowski's time. Scheider, by some margin, the highest placed of these guys. He's going to take that time by an absolute mile. Look, he's smashed it. First place, 5.2, nearly 5.3 seconds quicker. Derrida gets a time of 2:56.1, which is quicker than Kaliakowski. So that's Derrida in the semis, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Szabo beat him, but Sabo's ahead. No, Sabo's one place behind him, so Szabo might well go in front of Derrida, but I think Derrida will be in. Loads of people up there, look. Decent applause in the crowd. They're loving the rallycross. Timo Scheider wins Q4 race 2. Christian Szabo, Guillaume Derrida and Cyril Raymond. That's where they slot in. Scheider at the top with Szabo and Derrida. Cyril Raymond down in 6th place. And I think Guillaume's going to make the semis, which is great for him. How far up will Timo Scheider be? Good weekend for the birthday boy. Off the line, look at that. So, okay, Cyril Raymond went backwards, which helped Timo Scheider out, didn't it? Big time. A little bit of contact. Watch for the contact here into turn 2. So, yeah, there's not really anything Cyril could maybe have done about that. I mean, he could maybe have backed out of it a bit.
Yeah, a tiny bit earlier on the brakes, I would have said, personally. But I think, well, he may well have actually backed out because Guillaume came out in front of him after turn 3.
I think as well, it's fair to say Cyril didn't apply too much pressure to Guillaume during the course of the race because, Guillaume was on for semi-finals and Cyril isn't. So, well done playing the team part there.
Yeah, really good on him. And, well, like we said, they got their bit of little love affair, so helping each other out there. But Scheider has now set the benchmark.
Timo, you're like in a race all of your own there. You made it look very easy.
Well, in the end, we are fast since the beginning of the weekend. That's a good thing. And right now I had to deliver this one. Q3, I made my own mistake and lost a couple of positions like this. But in the end, we had now 4 clean runs, more or less. And now we see what the end will be.
Well, you should be able to enjoy at least the semi-final on your birthday. Happy birthday.
Very much, all the best. Enjoy watching.
Q4 race 3 on the inside. Gulan Shisharit, Yanis Baumanis next to him, then Timur Timosyanov and Anton Markland. These guys are all safely into the semis. Both the GCK Renault Megans have gone for new boots on the left-hand side. Timosyanov had a P2 in Q2. We know how rapid he can be. He's got fast-starting cars all alongside him, though. If Timur could get the whole shot here, I fancy he could do something interesting. The marshal points the driver's eyes to the lights. Here we go. Can Timmer get a decent start? Yes, he can. He gets a rocket ship of a start. He's way in front of Balmanis already. Oh, Timmerzianov shuts the door 100 metres before turn 1. Shishra is into P2. Timmer runs wide. Shishra's gone up the inside. Mistake from Timmerzianov sideways into turn 2. Can he take Balmanis into turn 3? They're side by side as they come over the jump. Oh, contact in the air. Balmanis has the inside line on the brakes down to turn 4. Can I hold the position? Timmerzianov surely goes Joker now. So Timmer has to go Joker if he wants any chance of Balmanis goes. So Timmer can't do that. I'd go on the next lap. Where is and on the start line still, we've got Anton Markland who's been left at the start at a standstill.
Yeah, so not good there for Markland, and Timmerzianov, the big loser there in the battle in the first corner. I think maybe that dust that we saw was laid down earlier on in the day, catching him out a tiny bit there. So really unlucky for him, and of course Balmanis going to the joke lap in front of him as well has really not helped him out.
So Timmer now has a decision to make. He either tries to gap Balmanis behind and catch up with Shishra in front, or he goes Joker now to protect the position. At the moment the gap is what, back to 2.9, not enough, 1.8. I think if he goes now Balmanis will get him.
Yeah, 100%, and Balmanis...
Mistake there from Shishra, maybe. He's a little bit deep and late on the rotation there, Dan.
Yeah, I didn't quite see that. So Markland,
go on, Anton, get in.
Mechanic Markland is on the move there. So
pass me the 13 mil. I think I can fix this, lads. We're only a lap down. No, he's out, of course. Unfortunately, he's been lapped, so he will be a DNF. It's a shame for Markland. And what does that do as well? Markland was in 7th, so with Kaliakowski's DQ, which we're hearing from the previous session, was for touching the launch button. Ollie Bennett could make it through, so drama towards it. We've had drama all year. What a brilliant season. Shishra into the chicane. Timmerzianov with him. Timmer's gap, I think, has come down again, so Balmanis is now only 1.3 off the back of him. What's he at? Is Balmanis now? He's 2.8 off Shishra. Shishra with a little nudge on the curve on the inside.
Yeah, so just make him run a tiny bit wide there on the exit. Timmerzianov late on the brakes, smoking the tyres up there. As I think maybe he could have a tracking problem, you know. Yeah,
I was thinking the same, but maybe from that contact, it looks like it's rubbing a bit. He's got terrible understeer through the middle of turn 1 as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's towing in from the contact on the run into turn 2. So both of his front wheels are facing inwards, effectively.
So you get a fair bit of understeer. You want them either level, don't you? Possibly a tiny bit. It depends, does it, on settings, but definitely not tow in.
No, that's awful for him.
Okay, into the joke lap then goes Shishra, and Timmerzianov goes with him. Timmer got a great start, but he couldn't make it work. Shishra now in the drag race with Balmanis. It's going to be super close between them at the merge. Shishra moves across. Is he clear? Only just. Balmanis slots in behind. Gulan Shishra chasing 252.0. How quick is it? Oh, it's so close, not close enough. 253.1. Shishra goes P2, which is a good result. He's a second off the back of Scheider. Scheider leads Q4 as we stand. Good drive, Gulan Shishra. I can't help thinking that Timmer could have gone quicker. It clearly had an issue in turn 1 after that contact. Great start by him, but just didn't come off. Gulan Shishra, it takes race 3 of Q4, then it's Balmanis, Timmerzianov, Anton Markland, the DNF. So we've got lots of working out to do on who's going to make it through to the semis. At the minute, Scheider leads Q4. It's a great result for him. He was P6 coming into this session. Shishra, Balmanis, Sabo, Timmerzianov, your top 5.
Gulan, that puts you in 2nd overall in this session, which is a good result. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I feel really okay. I tried to give everything I have, you know. I knew it was my last qualification of the years, and I had some good and bad days, and I said, okay, let's try everything, you know, and it's good to finish like this. Really happy. The start was not so good, but I saw Timur open the doors and I just go. And after I just do what I have to do, driving, it was pretty good.
Merci, thank you.
All 3 of our championship protagonists are in this one, and they're in championship order. Timmy Hansen on the inside leads the series by 1 point from Andreas Backerud. Kevin Hansen is 7 points further back from Backerud. Niklas Gronholm has been the fastest man here, I think, for most of the weekend. Kevin's gone for new boots on the left-hand side. Gronholm with that jump start last time out, couldn't get it done. Can he beat these guys now? He beat them yesterday. We've seen these guys racing together once before, but this is a fight for the World Championship on track in the last qualifying race. Remember, if Timmy out-qualifies Andreas and Kevin, he extends his lead in the points. Here we go. Down to turn one. This is pretty much the most crucial start of the weekend. It's very even on the inside backwards. Timmy Hansen already going to move across. Contact between them all the way down to turn one. Oh, Timmy Hansen's laying the brakes. Whole shot run around the outside. Kevin Hansen moves to the inside backward, getting it hung out to dry here. Surely Kevin's on his inside too. Can he stay there into P2? Turn three backward can. So he comes up the inside of Kevin Hansen. Kevin drops down. So it is Gronholm, Timmy Hansen, backward, and Kevin Hansen. Gronholm has gone away from them again, Dan. He is a weapon this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they're all tangling as Andreas has gone joker lap. So Andreas trying to give himself that bit of clear space. But yeah, Gronholm was, of course, on the outside and away from everybody tangling on the way down to turn one. So he just got the clear drive and drove around the outside of everybody.
Gronholm's accuracy through there, and Timmy too. You were saying, Dan, you think they're running the Peugeot pretty stiff.
Yeah, I think they are. We were watching back some images earlier in the truck, and you can see they're able to lift the rear wheel of the car just using the transition of the weight on the brakes. So yeah, I think they do have a bit of a stiff setup on that Peugeot.
They've gone well here previously. The Hyundai is edging them right now, but of course, you know, they don't actually have to worry about Gronholm. They can leave Gronholm. Timmy goes now. Timmy Hansen goes now. This is surely to protect his position from Andreas Backerud. So Timmy Hansen goes joker on lap 2, backward on the inside. It's going to bring him out clearly in front. That is a very clever tactical decision. Leave Gronholm, don't worry about Kevin, be in front of Andreas Backerud.
Yeah, that is, well, that's the aim for the whole weekend, isn't it, effectively, rather than just this race. So, yeah, Team Hansen just getting the job done, responding when they can.
Psychological too, though, down as well. They're going to make Andreas follow him for a couple of laps. Now, here's the gap look between Kevin Hansen and Backerud. At the minute, they think he's going to go the way of Andreas. So Backerud might get Kevin. That's going to put them back in championship order again. We might see slightly extended gaps between them at the end of this one, assuming, of course, it finishes this way. So Kevin Hansen's going to wait joker at the end. He wants to try and extend that gap. He's got to. They'll be on the radio. Graham will be on the radio to one of his road marking spotter and saying push, push, push.
Yeah, push, push, but, you know, don't make any silly mistakes. You know, they're clearly into the semis, but they don't want to be throwing anything away either.
No, he wants front row, doesn't he? They all, at the minute, these are your front rows, and we're going to find out who's going to be in which semi-final and what front row, who's facing off against each other. Niklas Gronholm on the brakes down into the right-hander. Super close on the right and the left. No penalties for any of these guys for track markers, which is brilliant. Andreas Backerud at the back of the pack. Into the joker, then goes Gronholm and Kevin Hansen. Watch for the inside. Timmy Hansen, Andreas Backerud. Whereabouts is Kevin going to be? Can he get Backerud? I don't think he can. It's going to be close between them. Kevin comes out just behind. Is he going to have a look on the inside? It's super late in the race. Gronholm takes it. How fast is he? Fast enough to win the session. 2:49.5. 2.5 seconds quicker than Scheider. Timmy Hansen goes into, so in fact they're all quicker, so all four of these guys have gone quicker than Scheider. They're P1 to 4 in this session. Gronholm, Timmy Hansen, Andreas Backerud and Kevin Hansen. They finished in championship order again, and that is going to mean that Timmy Hansen is going to extend his lead over Andreas Backerud. Where will Gronholm be? Will it be by 1 point or will it be by 2 points? Because Niklas Gronholm's just won that last session from Timmy Hansen, and I think that's going to put Gronholm into the TQ spot, so it's going to be a 1 point extension. Confirmation of the result. Niklas Gronholm takes Q4. That has a bearing on the championship standings. Timmy Hansen second, Backerud third, Kevin Hansen fourth. All of them go to the top 4, and we'll bring you the overall standings very soon indeed.
That was a great drive, Niklas. How was it for you?
Sorry?
It was a great drive. How was it for you?
It was okay. Car is feeling good, and we are doing good launches, so yeah, really happy.
It looks like you're really confident with this car through this track, hitting those corners with really good apexes.
Yeah, for sure, and we've been doing some improvements during the weekend all the time, thinking that where we can gain a little bit, and to be honest, I don't know what the times were like, but now the car was feeling the best that it has this weekend, so we're going in the right direction, I mean, and yeah, we just need to have 2 more good races and yeah, try to enjoy it as much as possible.
I can tell you the times were very good. Thank you, Kiitos.
So this was off the line. Timmy Hansen with a good start. Backerud had edged him down towards turn 1. Kevin Hansen up the inside of Andreas Backerud at this point. Backerud did well actually to hold on to his position there against Kevin in the background, but by now Gronholm had gapped them out front and was just driving away. I mean, his lap times 40.2, 40.2. Oh my God, 3 40.2s in a row.
And then, of course, the Joker being the only one that's not the 40.2.
Yeah, I mean, it's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. So the lap times are slower than they were earlier today, I think, or no, they're about the same.
About similar, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just Gronholm is on fire. My money's on Gronholm for the win overall. But of course, this isn't about that. This is about a World Championship. And the World Championship contenders have finished in championship order. Where will they be in the standings at the end of Q4? Great job, Niklas Gronholm. He'd love to take a proper win here and round out a season in South Africa with a top step on the podium. Let's take a look at the standings then. For the last time this year, ahead of the semi-finals, Niklas Gronholm is the TQ. Top qualifier Gronholm, winning Q2 and Q4. Timmy Hansen is P2, having won Q1 and Q3. Timmy Hansen will extend his championship lead over Andreas Backerud by 1 point to 2 points. Still not enough. Kevin Hansen will be a further point back from them in 4th. So your top 3 in the championship are P2, 3 and 4. But most importantly, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen will be together on the front row of semi-final number 2, while Backerud has to face up to Niklas Gronholm in turn 1. So maybe advantage Hansen's. Timoziano, Scheider, Balmanis, Shisharit, Sabo, De Ridder is in, so's Markland, and Ollie Bennett makes the semi-finals at the last event of the year. Great job by him. Here are the World Championship standings for drivers at the end of qualifying in South Africa. Timmy Hansen leads Andreas Backerud by 2 points. Kevin Hansen is a further 8 points back, so there's 10 now between Timmy and Kevin. Is this the point at which the Hansens back Timmy for the World Championship title? Because Timmy and Kevin Hansen are together in semi-final number 2, and they've just taken the team's championship for 2019. Well, what an incredible season. We're 193 races into 196, and the World Championship is yet to be decided. I'm so unbelievably nervous. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I'm very rarely lost for words, Dan Rook, but this is an incredibly special season. I'm not sure we'll ever see one like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, isn't it? Our stomachs are churning up here.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like for Backerud and the two Hansens. Neil Cole is with the Mayor of Cape Town.
Alderman Dan Plato, the Mayor of Cape Town. It's a real pleasure to be here again. Thank you for hosting us. And you must be so pleased that it's such an exciting final round of the championship.
Definitely very, very excited. I think the whole of Cape Town is very excited to have all of the races back again in our beautiful mother city. And that is one of the reasons why I'm here, to show the city of Cape Town's support for this beautiful rally.
And Cape Town is a place synonymous with adventure and sports. You must be really happy the way that the city has embraced this sport.
No, definitely. That is why we invest in this sport. It's a growing sport, and what you can see, all of the people of the city, all the cultural groups in the city, all of them are here today, and they support it. Mums, dads, even with the youngsters support the sport, and we will continue doing that. It's a brilliant investment into the city to accept all of the foreign visitors into Cape Town, and for them, they're taking up bed space, they come and buy and they eat and that sort of thing. No city, no province and no country can say no for such a beautiful event.
And of course, we've just heard that there's a new contract. We will be coming back to Cape Town. Tell us a little bit more how you can see that growing in the future.
Oh dear, I'm so fascinated about that. That for me was the cherry on the cake. And it's seal, just our commitment towards the sport, our commitment to say to the sport, come back to Cape Town. Look, rally, cross and motorsport is a massive sport across the world. My taking is, why not in South Africa? Why not in Cape Town? And I think this must become the motorsport hub for the whole of Africa.
Thank you very much and enjoy the racing.
Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you guys here in Cape Town. Thank you.
How fantastic to have the Mayor so into it. Absolutely brilliant. These guys have got a hell of a celebration. They've got the rugby team, the World Cup winning rugby team, coming to Cape Town tomorrow for a big celebration. There's somebody going to be having a big celebration tonight. Somebody's dreams are going to be coming true, and a couple of people not so much. So is it going to be Timmy Hansen? Is it going to be Andreas Backerud, or is it going to be Kevin Hansen? They're sitting down there in those cars I hope you're on your feet at home. I hope you're ready for this. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got 3 races to go. Who's going to be the World Rallycross Champion 2019? Hello from Killarney International Raceway, Cape Town, South Africa. We are at the final event of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. And if you watch that opening there, I don't think you'd have said that Timmy Hansen, Andreas Backerud and Kevin Hansen were going to be the 3 drivers who were in this incredible title fight. They came in with 1 point between them, Timmy and Andreas, 8 between Timmy and Kevin. It's now 2 points between Timmy and Andreas and 10 down to Kevin from his brother Timmy. Absolutely incredible stuff. This is where we stand. Niklas Gronholm taking the TQ by winning Q4. He's looking like he's on fire. He's going to be on the inside of Andreas Backerud. That's going to make Backerud's life pretty difficult in the semi-finals to take 6 points and try and edge a point back towards Hansen. Hansen, Timmy, he's on pole with his brother Kevin next to him. Is Kevin going to play the rear gunner role? We're going to find out soon enough. Timozyanov, Schade, Balmanis, Schiesserit, Sabo, De Ridder, Markland and Bennett have all made the cut. Markland, they are working on his engine right now in the pre-grid, and we don't know if the car's going to make the grid or not. If it doesn't, we think Farashkin will be put forward into the semi-finals. He's the next stand-in. So Gronholm versus Backerud, Timmy Hansen versus Kevin Hansen. The World Championship leader, Timmy Hansen, spoke to Neil Cole earlier on before getting ready for semi-final number 2.
Timmy, approaching the semi-finals, you've done everything you can to put yourself in the best position. What's the mindset now?
Yeah, it's been a great race this far. Niklas has been super fast, so but lining up with Kevin in this race feels good, feels safe. And 2 more races this weekend. That's where my focus goes. First of all, the semi-final to put everything together, make a good race. Obviously, hopefully get into the first line in the final, but race by race.
It was nice. I just saw a moment there where you and Andreas Backerud had a little embrace and a sort of wishing each other good luck. It's good that there's a rivalry, but also a friendship there.
Yeah, I know he wants it at this as bad as I do, and we've been working and dreaming about this equally long, and now we're this close. So I mean, I can absolutely relate to what he's going through because I'm feeling it right now as well. He's super focused. I am super focused, and hope we get a clean race and that the best man at the end, when the checkered flag comes in the final, will be the champion.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go then, semi-final time in South Africa. My name's Andrew Coley. Joining me on commentary, Dan Rook. He's been with us all season. Neil Cole reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid. We're ready for this. I think we're ready for this. Semi-final number 1, Niklas Gronholm on the pole. Andreas Backerud 2 points off the lead of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Desperate to be the World Rallycross Champion. 2 new tyres on the front of his Audi. Row 2, Timozyanov and Yanis Balmanis. 4 new tyres for Timmer. He could be a danger for Andreas. He's on the inside behind his teammate Niklas. Bringing up the rear, Christian Sabo. I'm sure he'll help Andreas if he can, and Anton Markland if that engine is fixed. I'm waiting to see the grid. There is Markland. They've got the job done. So we were right about it being an engine change in Q4. He was very disappointed. Oh, okay. It's time. There are 3 races to go in the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. This one is absolutely crucial for the hopes of Andreas Backerud on the front row. It's a good start by Backerud and by Timozyanov as well. Backerud moving across. He's maybe got a better start than Gronholm. Andreas Backerud going to try and shut the door. Niklas Gronholm. Backerud's got the whole shot. Andreas Backerud's got the whole shot. He doesn't run too wide. He slides the car perfectly into the lead. Behind him, Gronholm, Timozyanov, contact. Balmanis goes round. Spins on the way into the jump. Side by by side for Markland and Sabo. Timozyanov looks up the inside of Gronholm, but Baccarat's got the whole shot.
That's what he had to do, because Timmy was likely to, you know, Timmy could have already been taking points out of him in the next race. So Andreas has to get the maximum points he can at every single stage to be able to be in the fight in the final.
Unbelievable stuff from Andreas Baccarat. Each time this weekend it's gone to and fro between Timmy and Andreas. Yanis Balmanis has pulled over in front of the commentary position. He is out. But Baccarat, yeah, he responded this morning with those incredible times. Timmy came out and just sliced tenths off him and went faster again. Niklas Gronholm's been super quick all weekend. Yeah, Baccarat needs to be, doesn't he, up the front. He can't be on road 2. If he lost this semi down, he's on road 2. It's advantage Hansen. That's assuming Timmy gets it done. He's piling the pressure onto Timmy.
Yeah, exactly. He is saying, Timmy, this is what you're on. You have to answer to this. Now I'm setting my place out in the front row of the final, so you need to put yourself there too if you want this championship.
Baccarat being chased by Gronholm. Timozyanov is right there as well. These Hyundais are so fast. They've been so quick all weekend. They've been so quick all year. Gronholm could have been in this championship fight if it wasn't for his illness earlier this year. I can't wait to see what happens next season, but this one isn't over yet. It's incredible that it's come this far. Baccarat's under serious pressure here. He's not getting away, Dan. He's got 5/10 of a second. Just 1.1. Markland's Joker. We think that the gap is about 2.5 for a Joker. Surely you're going to keep Baccarat out front, and these guys maybe will go to the end, or they're going to try tactics. If you're Gronholm, you want to be on the front row.
Well, yeah, exactly, but I think Gronholm he's just there or thereabouts, but he's not quite close enough to mount an attack. I think Andreas has still got enough of a gap to be able to drive his own line.
Sabo's run wide in the background. Markland's getting over the back of him, but Baccarat is still leading from Niklas Gronholm. Runs the car out to the edge of the track. If Gronholm wants to get past, look at that, pinching the wheel, touching the curbs. I think Gronholm looks quicker, but as you say, there's no way through. He has to do it with strategy down if he wants to do it. Baccarat's they're so close now, 4/10 of a second. Baccarat slightly defensive on the braking line, up through the chicane again. Is any of them going to go Joker this time round? Gronholm does. Gronholm's gone Joker. Timozyanov stays standing like Gronholm. Look, he lost him at the time coming out the chicane there, Dan.
Yeah, wasn't quite able to get on the gas as quickly as he wanted to because he carried a little bit more speed into the Joker, and Andreas was there, so he had to back out a little bit. But Gronholm's going to come out in front of Szabo. That is crucial.
Perfect timing for Niklas Gronholm. If you were RX Cartel, I'd send Baccarat right now. Don't let Gronholm have more than one lap to respond on lap times. They've got to send Baccarat in now to protect the front row in the final. There's the predictor at the bottom of the page. Baccarat versus Gronholm. At the minute they think Gronholm's going to get it, so Gronholm could get it if his Joker's been quick enough. Baccarat has to respond now.
Yeah, he has to go in. Send him in, send him in. Well, watch now, let's see which way he goes.
It's a better Joker entry for Andreas Baccarat. So Andreas Baccarat coming in the outside. Niklas Gronholm on the inside. This for a crucial World Championship point. This for a start on the front row. Baccarat's done enough. Baccarat has done enough. He holds on from Niklas Gronholm. Great tactics, great driving.
Yeah, fantastic effort. And I think Gronholm, if he had another lap, he would have done it. The sector times are indicating that Gronholm is quicker. He took 2/10 out of him in sector 1. But yeah, he's still managed to get in and out in front of Gronholm. That's what he had to do.
So Gronholm now has to pass Baccarat on track if he wants to be on the front row in the final. Baccarat has to hold on if he wants to stand any chance of mounting an attack on Timmy Hansen. Timozyanov just in front of them. Timmer on this last lap will go Joker, but look, Baccarat and Gronholm are taking time out of it. In goes the Russian now, so are we going to see both the GRX cars in the final? Baccarat's backed it up on the inside, he's got a problem. Andreas Baccarat was slow through the hairpin, but he's fast down the straight. Andreas Baccarat has won semi-final #1. He's got the job done. And the man who's second in the World Rallycross Championship takes 6 crucial points in semi-final 1. Gronholm is right behind him, but he couldn't get past. Timozyanov is in the final 2. Oh! One of them's through. So if Baccarat's in now, basically the fight goes to the final. The fight goes to the final between him and Timmy. If Timmy makes it, Kevin is out of the championship fight. I'm trying to think if Baccarat's points anyway mean that Kevin can't catch him. I can't do the maths live, don't worry about it. Andreas Baccarat, 6 championship points. The semi-final win's almost irrelevant. Gronholm gets 5. Timozyanov gets 4. Those Hyundais are dangerously fast, but it doesn't matter. It's about the championship, not the win. Markland, Szabo and Balmanis are out. Oh, Baccarat rolls back towards the paddock. Semi-final 1, don't forget, a little bit more time to re-prep, Dan. There's a tiny advantage in that. The Baccarat Blues there are up on the bank. here's another look at that start. So Bakkerud just gets it absolutely bang on. To me, Timosyanov almost got a slightly better start than Gronholm.
I can't help but feel like Gronholm backed out of that a little bit. I feel like if it was maybe not for the title fight, Gronholm would have stuck his elbows in there.
I know what you mean. So it's not like he's gone half the place, but he said basically, you're in a world title fight, I'm not going to take you out, which is incredibly gentlemanly.
I think, yeah.
And it's only the same advantage that Timmy's going to have in semi-2 because his brother's going to look after him. I'm certain of that now. I'm certain of that. Yeah, Bakkerud has got it done in semi-final number 1. I can't believe it's going to go to the last race of the season. Obviously, it's now crucial for Timmy Hansen to get through. He's going to be listening to every single noise on that car. This was Bakkerud into the joke lap, the lap after Gronholm, and you're right, another lap, and it was the other way.
100%. Gronholm was eating time out of him, but Bakkerud had just done enough just to get in front of him. And even on this final lap now, this is Timosyanov in the Joker, but watch Andreas. He slowed right up in the hairpin there.
Was that just to make sure that Gronholm couldn't pass him? You know, he does the race time, doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter. Bakkerud takes it. Bakkerud takes it. Front row in the final. So Andreas Bakkerud has gone past Neil Cole into the paddock, and we respect that. He's under an enormous amount of pressure. There are the live championship standings. Now, okay, yes, at the moment it looks like Bakkerud has taken the lead in the championship. But obviously Timmy Hansen's semi-final hasn't run yet. But it's worth noting that if Timmy Hansen was to retire from the championship, then Kevin, if he won the semi and the final, it would be equal. Oh, doesn't bear thinking about. So Kevin Hansen is 14 points back from Bakkerud as it stands. So he would have to win the semi-final and the final, and they'd be equal on points. But having won the final, he would take it on count back from Bakkerud because he'd have 2 wins to Bakkerud. If Bakkerud beats him, he would be the champion. But what's crucial is Timmy, is whether Timmy goes through. If Timmy gets through with those 6 points, then obviously it puts him back to where he was before, an advantage of 2. This is off the start, look. Bakkerud with just a brilliant run to turn 1.
Yeah, and I think if you look at Niklas, he got on the brakes a little bit early. You can see the gap that Andreas had on the way into the corner.
He's careful there as well, isn't he, into turn 2 as turn 1 tightens onto the loose.
Left a bit of a gap there, and there's Balmanis being collected by, I don't know who it was, Zabo maybe.
Down towards that first chicane. They were so... Gronholm's got pace, hasn't he? The Hyundai, for me, is the best car this season, honestly. And, you know, Timo took a win. Niklas took the win in Norway, though, you know, we've often said that probably doesn't count quite the same way. Niklas will be kicking himself because he won't take Bakkerud out, obviously, but he missed the whole shot. When he had the top qualifier spot, he needed to get to turn 1 first. And coming into the semi-finals, I was convinced that that was going to be a deciding factor in this championship, that Bakkerud wouldn't beat him to turn 1 because the Hyundai is so strong.
Yeah, it's really powerful. It's got, you know, so much straight line speed, but he just slightly misjudged his start, and that was where Andreas was able to get the nose in front. And yeah, Gronholm just opened. I mean, we've not heard from him. We don't know if he let him go or not, but it did look like he didn't mount too much of a challenge on the run into turn 1.
No, fair enough. So coming down, this is lap number 5. So this is the point at which, of course, Andreas Bakkerud goes, and that's in response to Gronholm, who's gone on the lap before. Timosyanov's quick, isn't he? But you can see a difference here between Timosyanov, Bakkerud and Gronholm. Look at Bakkerud as well through the entry to the Joker. Great pace on the way and carried good momentum, but still on the gas and a little bit sideways. You're going to be so keen, aren't you, to get the car in front?
Yeah, big commitment, but you just got to be really disciplined and patient with the throttle in some situations where you don't want to be lighting the wheels up too much.
Back onto the loose section again. Bakkerud with Gronholm right up underneath him. Timosyanov in front of them. Tim are on those new tyres. Interesting to know what Gronholm's done, if he's tried to save new tyres, because he was on used tyres here. I can't remember if he's used them earlier in the weekend or if he's tried to save a new set for the final.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, he's had the pace, hasn't he? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so maybe the fact he's had the pace then means they've used the tyres. I mean, yeah, not sure. I have to say, not kept track of that. We've had a few other things to keep track of this weekend. Andreas Bakkerud's point score being one of those things. He has won semi-final 1. He takes 6 points. He's in the lead of the World Championship until semi-final number 2 reaches its conclusion. So Andreas Bakkerud took semi-final number 1. 6 points to him, which puts him just in front of Timmy Hansen. But it's Timmy Hansen's turn now, and he's got his brother Kevin alongside him. There they are, all up in the spotters tower. Look in the centre of your screen. Three of the most nervous people in this venue. Graham Rodemark on the left. Then it was Kenneth Hansen and Susan Hansen. Spotting for their sons from Kenneth and Susan's point of view. On the front row, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen, the World Championship leader and the P3 man. Kevin's 10 points behind, 8 points on the back of Baccarat. New tyres on the left-hand side for both the Peugeots. Timo Scheider and Gulan Shisha. It's Scheider's birthday today. Love a great result. Bringing up the rear, Guillaume de Ridder making the semi-finals for the second time this year, and Oliver Bennett as well. New tyres on the left for both those guys. Good to see them in a semi-final, although I think all eyes are going to be up front for this. I'm expecting Kevin to give way to Timmy in turn one, but let's see. Timmy now knows that Andreas Baccarat has a few points ahead of him. He's got to take it to the final. He needs 6 clean laps. What's he going to get? Here we go. Oh, good start by Timmy Hansen. Not the best, though. Timo Scheider. Kevin Hansen moves across to squeeze Scheider straight away. Goes into rear gunner mode. Contact between him and Scheider. Kevin is up the inside. Protecting from Shisha on the outside. Will contact between Shisha and Scheider in the background. Timmy, though, is in front, and Kevin has absolutely got the job done there. That is exactly what was required of him.
Yeah, he didn't quite get the start, did he? But in some ways, that played in Timmy's hands, or probably to their plan.
Sorry, de Ridder's just fired off Shisha. De Ridder ran straight into the rear corner of Shisha. It pushed him round. That's not ideal for him. Puts them way off the back and opens the door for Timo Scheider to close down. Scheider had a fair bit of contact in those first couple of corners. De Ridder's got Joker. Sorry, yes, Timmy up front with Kevin behind. Look, massive gap already.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. Was it 3.1 back to Scheider, so Timmy could effectively go in the Joker lap already.
Oh, it's a bit of me that I might book one now just to take the pressure off. It's just incredible, isn't it? So Timmy, what's going through his mind, Dan? Because now he's got Kevin behind him. We know Kevin's not going to mount a challenge. Unless something happens to Timmy's car, Kevin is not going to challenge him.
No, exactly. And, you know, as soon as Timmy's left the lines, he just made a bit of a small mistake there, I think.
Timmy did make a mistake.
But less gravel across the chicane where Shisha went across. So
Timmy's made several mistakes in a row there. Is there a problem for Timmy Hansen? He made a number of mistakes there, Dan. He missed the turn-in for the hairpin. He missed the apex of the chicane as well. Susan, look how tense it is up there. You can see Eric Farren's in the spotters tower as well. They've got 4 sets of eyes on their 2 cars. Calm it down, Timmy. You can do this. Keep it tidy.
There's so much pressure riding on him now, isn't there? So much pressure.
Massive. It's absolutely massive. Kenneth with one hand up onto the side of his headset, maybe just sending a bit of information. As it stands, Timmy Hansen would lead the championship by 2 points from Baccarat, but he has to win this semi-final to do that. And there's 4 laps to go, and he was making me nervous on the last lap. He's calmed down a little bit now, Dan, but it can't be like this. It's got to be perfect.
No, I think it's obviously as he approached the corner, he wasn't quite maybe expecting the gravel across the track, so he caught him out by a little bit by surprise. But on this next lap, he knows it's there, so he knows what to do.
Oh. Kevin Hansen with some dirt across the front of the car following his brother who's so close behind him. Kevin would have been thinking no, because Kevin knows it's almost an impossible task for him to beat Baccarat, whereas his brother Timmy can. They're taking that jump quite hard, Dan. You know, do you just approach this the same way, because you almost want to look after the car?
He just ran a little bit wide there on the right-hander again. Timmy Hansen running really fast into the corner there. But yeah, going back to the jump, you kind of would want to it would make you think you want to look after the car, but yeah, they are taking it really hard there.
Oh, Bennett is out of this one as well, so Ollie Bennett's pulled off the side of the track. Okay, lap times. Andreas Baccarat's best was a 41.1. To be fair, Timmy's done a 41.4, a 41.8, and he's just dipped into the 40s. So he is faster, but to me, Dan, he's not looking the comfortable Timmy Hansen that he's looked the rest of the weekend. Is that just the pressure? Is it just tightness?
It's got to be, hasn't it? I mean, he's not quite got that same flow he always has. When he comes in and he says he's done a perfect run, you can see how comfortable he looks in the car. But there's just something not looking right. It doesn't look good through this chicane section. He looks almost a little bit hesitant.
Yeah. Well, look, he's only got to win this semi, and then it comes down to a straight race between him and Andreas Baccarat. He's keeping it tidy. The lap times are good. Kevin Hansen goes joking out. It's going to clearly come out in front of Timo Scheider. There they are up in the middle of the tower. Timmy Hansen has just 1 lap to go. So 1 lap to go to take the World Rallycross Championship into its 196th and final race of the year. Unprecedented stuff. The last 5 minutes it's going to be. Do you want not even that? 4 minutes 15 it takes. That's what it's going to take to decide a World Championship if Timmy Hansen just finishes this lap. Around the Joker lap now. Kevin's on the inside. There's no danger here. Timmy Hansen comes around the right-hander. He's going to be smooth on the gas. He's going to pull the gears. He'll be early on the brakes for the braking zone at the end of this straight. Timmy Hansen wins semi-final number 2 and sets up the ultimate World Rallycross showdown. It goes to the final race of the year. His brother Kevin Hansen will be there to help him. Timo Scheider goes through in P3. I cannot believe it's gone to the last race of the year. It's the dream, it's the nightmare, depending on what type of point of view you're looking at it from. The pressure will reach the highest point it has ever reached. Incredible. Oh, he needs a reset. Timmy needs a reset ahead of the final. He's got to calm it down. Yeah, there was gravel on the road. I think then that freaks you out, Dan. You make a mistake. He hasn't made any mistakes this weekend. The mistake comes, it trips you up.
Yeah, and then the red mist starts to descend and you worry about all the things you really shouldn't be worrying about. And yeah, it just takes a toll on your driving.
Lots of people make the trip down here from Scandinavia to support their favourite drivers. They're in luck because we've got 2 Swedes and Norwegian in there. Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen and Timo Scheider go through. It's Hansen versus Backerud on the front row of the final with Kevin Hansen in support. De Ridder, Schischrit and Bennett are out. This was the start, then it was a good start for Timmy Hansen. It was actually a worse start for Kevin. I thought it was a bad one for Timmy. Scheider got a good start, didn't he? But Kevin did the perfect job there by squeezing Scheider out and then making sure that Schischrit couldn't come around the outside.
Yeah, he immediately made himself a block there, didn't he, to defend from everybody else and stop someone running into the back of Timmy Hansen. And as we watch Guillaume de Ridder, you can see in the back of your shot, that's where the gravel came from on that chicane. That was what we think tripped Timmy Hansen. Smooth flow of driving up.
And there were words said after the final. The 2 of them pulled up in front of the conference box. I don't think Schischrit is very happy with de Ridder. You know, effectively they're both out now, and Schischrit stood a chance of going in. So de Ridder, not flavour of the month down there, I think, but that's the way it goes. You know, he was desperate for a good result as well. Timmy Hansen coming through to take semi-final number 2 from his brother and Timo Scheider. Crowd are being treated to something special here as you guys are at home. I can't believe it's gone to the last race of the year. We thought it might go to the last round, maybe to qualifying. It's gone to the final of 2019. Deep breath. I couldn't put my money on anyone now, Dan.
No, it's just blown wide open.
So we've got the RX2 International Series final coming up for you next. Oliver Eriksson has already been crowned the champion. He's retained his title from last year. Let's have a look at what happened in the semi-finals earlier on. So Eriksson on the front row with Fraser McConnell. Bit of contact in the background, and it's a good result, isn't it, for Fraz to be right up here. We were thinking he might be able to take 2nd or 3rd in the standings, but, well, he was actually in a fight with Gundersen, wasn't he, until Kallio had an absolute shocker this weekend, dropped out of contention for that 2nd place. Fraz is kind of in the mix, but he really needed Ollie actually to let him win, didn't he, to be able to take a few more points, and then as you'll see, Gundersen's got it done anyway.
Yeah, so Gundersen's currently in the, like I say, the P2 slot in the championship. But Fraz, yeah,
I don't think he's going to be able to take. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to take Kallio's points total. So we think Fraser's going to finish 4th when he was in a battle with Gundersen for 3rd. So he wouldn't have expected, of course, it to be Kallio just in front. It's been a great season for him. Osland going well with these 2, but Ollie Eriksson untouchable. He's been untouchable all weekend. He's won all 4 of his qualifying sessions. This was him slotting in front of Fraser McConnell. McConnell doing well to match the lap times of a man who spent so much time in these cars. Eriksson, can he get a clean sweep to round off his 2nd title season? On to semi-final number 2. Great start for Gundersen with Gryers in behind. Slightly more sensible turn 1 for these guys. Lane Vakala at the back of the pack, making it through to the semi-finals in the World Championship for the first time. Gundersen out front, what a result for him, you know, managing to come back to take P2 in the series. If you think he got that penalty, didn't he, in Barcelona right at the start of the year for closing the door on the run into the start, and actually he's had a little bit of redemption here, but I can't help but feel sorry for Kallio.
Yeah, I mean, Gundersen's obviously managed to crawl his way back up the standings after the disastrous round 1 for him. But, of course, the tables have turned for Kallio now, and he's having the bad luck. And, yeah, it's. I guess you could look at it in some way that they've their luck has equaled out over the course of the season.
Gundersen won in Sweden, he won in France. If he can win here at the end of the season, it's 3 wins in a row for him. But he goes up against the only other man to win a round, Oliver Eriksson, on that front row. Eriksson won the first 4 rounds of the season, so it's a 4-time winner versus a 2-time winner. Are we going to see a 3rd winner this season? Or are we going to see Gundersen go to 3 or Eriksson go to 5 wins? Last round of a 7-round championship season for these guys. 2 races to go here in Cape Town. We're nearly ready to launch the RX2 cars down to turn 1. Last RX2 final of the year is next. Got a couple of very quick drivers lining up on the front row who are currently P1 and P2 in the championship. The championship's over, so it's just for honour. Table Mountain providing that stunning backdrop to all the action this weekend. Let's have a look at the grid for our second to last race of the season. The RX2 final from South Africa. Oliver Eriksson, the champion, on pole. Ben Philip Gundersen, P2 in the series, is second. Fraser McConnell and Vasily Gryazin, P3 and 4 on the grid. Bringing up the rear, Linus Osland and Sami-Matti Trojan. You'd have to have your money on Eriksson here, but Gundersen's been in great form on the last couple of races. Eriksson was second to him in France. Eriksson, of course, retired in Sweden. Fraser McConnell had that one podium at the start of the year. Love another one to finish it. Pretty even start across the grid. Gryazin trying to put a squeeze on the inside, but McConnell's got the better start. Anyway, McConnell will hug that inside line in the hopes that Gundersen gets pushed wide by Eriksson. Indeed he does. Gundersen goes sideways, Fraser McConnell up the inside. McConnell maybe clips the back of Eriksson there. Leans hard on Gundersen. Gundersen's on the inside as they come over the crest. Now Kraz needs to watch out that he doesn't lose out. He has Fraser McConnell going backwards. Gryazin comes through. Did McConnell miss a gear?
I'm not too sure. I think it was big contact with Gundersen there. I think he almost had to back out of the front to not go into the wall before the jump. He's gone to the joke lab now. Wise decision.
So Fraser McConnell with a not ideal start. Looked like it was good. Got a great start off the line. Beat Gryazin off the line, but didn't go his way into turn 2. A little bit of contact, and he's ended up dropping back. The car seems okay, so an early Joker now. He's going to have to try and he's back on the pack already, so he does need now these guys in front of Joker if he wants any hope of getting a podium.
Yeah, otherwise he's looking very strongly like he could be held up here, because we've seen how fast he was. He was all over the back of Eriksson in his semi-final.
Matching the lap times, you were impressed by that, weren't you?
Yeah, really impressed. It's the first time he's been doing that all weekend, so he's definitely found some extra pace coming into the end of his weekend, and it'd be good if he can top off the podium.
Into the last right-hander at the bottom of the circuit, Eriksson followed by Gundersen and Gryazin, and in fact Osland has gone Joker, so that's opened the door for Fraz to try and close it down a little bit more.
Running in the same team, I believe, so not sure if maybe there's some team tactics there from the OMSE boys.
Gryazin has gone okay this season. Just looking down at the results for him, he's had the 1P3 in the UK. Difficult, isn't it, for these guys to know what to do next, whether to come and do Euro, 5 events, 6 events in a supercar, or I mean, to find the budget to step up to World is a big step. We'd like to see Eriksson do it. I know Eriksson's been in a supercar, hasn't he, this year? But really, he's pretty much, well, is he in the same chassis Cyril was in?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so that's got quite the history, hasn't it? Oh, off for Gundersen, runs wide. Gryazin having a look up the inside. Gryazin's going to make that pass stick into turn 2. Sami-Matti Trojan's there now. These guys holding each other up. That's played right into Fraser McConnell's hands. McConnell is on the back of this pack of 3 cars. None of them are joking, and he has. So he really needs, he's hoping desperately, I'm sure, that Trojan or Gundersen will go. He's literally on the back of Trojan, so is anybody going to peel off? Gundersen does. So Gundersen's gone Joker. Sami-Matti Trojan just in front of Fraser McConnell. Gryazin gets a bit deep in the hairpin now. So he's not going to be able to challenge. Fraser McConnell isn't going to be able to challenge Eriksson out front, but at the minute he's only 6/10 off. I Okay, 1.3 seconds off Gryazin, and I think that's close enough when Gryazin goes that Franz would get him, so he could be on for P2.
Yeah, 100%. This is working out really well for McConnell. Just got to hope now that he's not going to be held up by Trogan. But of course, coming into the latter stage of the race, they should hopefully be going for the Joker lap on this lap, or well, it'll definitely be the next, if not this one.
Ollie Eriksson perilously close there to the marker cones on the inside. We've got a few of these guys carrying penalties for hitting them. Contact is under investigation between Schischrit and Derrida. It doesn't make any difference because neither of them's made it through to the final. Still, Raymond got a reprimand earlier for some contact. I wonder if Derrida might get the same. I think Schischrit would be given a reprimand anyway. So Trogan with McConnell right behind. Gryazin has dropped back now. Eriksson with a 3.9 second lead on this last lap. After the trouble Franz had in turn 1, this has worked out really nicely, hasn't it?
Yeah, played into his hands really well. Everyone went for the Joker at the right time for him. Otherwise, I think if Osland hadn't gone for the Joker when he did, he'd definitely be further back in the pack. So all got very lucky there, I think it's fair to say, for McConnell.
Champion Eriksson goes into the Joker lap for the final time this season. Sammy Matti Trogan's gone with him, but he won't be near enough to challenge Fraser McConnell. So Eriksson is going to finish the season as he started it, with a win. This one, though, is a clean sweep in South Africa for the champion as he retains the title. P2 for McConnell. He finishes the season as he started it. Jamaican flags are going mad up at turn 1. Third place goes to Sammy Matti Trogan. That's 2 P3s in a row for him. He was third in France as well. So a great end to the season for these guys. Donuts for Eriksson. Donuts for McConnell on the dirt too. Fraser McConnell's pitched into a right old spin. Really happy with P2, particularly after a not great start. But Eriksson, the champion, shows why he's the champion. Perfect weekend for him. As a result, Eriksson wins from McConnell and Trogan. Gryazin, Osland and Gundersen, your 4, 5 and 6. I'm not going to lie, I can't stop thinking about the World Rallycross Championship final. It was a great final for X2, but I'm totally and utterly distracted by the monumental event that is to follow.
Yeah, I think
there are 2 points. There are 2 points separating the 2 best rallycross drivers in the world. The 2 guys who came together in Abu Dhabi. Ooh. Stay with us. So this was off the line. Fraser McConnell, the Jamaican coloured car. Pretty easy to spot him. Into turn 2, everything looked good here. Tiny tag maybe. But Gundersen had got round the outside, and then where he ran wide, okay, he's in the loose, isn't he? So he's just lost loads of traction, I think. Yeah, wheel spin and not able to get the car turned in to defend his line there. So, yeah, really unlucky for him missing out there. Something, what happened for Gundersen there? Just coming through the final couple of corners. I wonder if he bailed on the tyre markers. You know, if you know the car's going to pitch into them, you take 2 or 3 out, you're going to get a penalty anyway. I mean, whatever, it was a mistake, wasn't it? And it cost him dear. Gundersen ended up down in P6. But great result for Ollie Eriksson. Clean sweep and another championship title. Eriksson up on the roof of his car. Gundersen goes over to congratulate him. Nice to see.
Oliver, congratulations. How important was it to seal the victory of the championship with another win?
It's awesome. You know, I've never done it before. I always had some bad luck in the last race of the year. So to win as well is the cherry on top, isn't it?
Enjoy the celebrations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Eriksson very happy with that result, as you'd imagine. Final championship standings for RX2. Oliver Eriksson on 193 points. So you ended 43 points in front, but that's largely due to Jesse Kallio having a bad weekend this time. Unlucky for him. I'm pleased he's held on to P3. I know Fraz would have liked to take P3, but Kallio didn't kind of deserve to lose out. And you can see Fraser McConnell was pretty close. He would have needed to win his semi and the final to take it, as we'd worked out earlier. Me and Dan have been doing frantic, terrible maths all day. We've got 4 minutes 15 of frantic, terrible maths still to come. Track is dry, the crowd are ready. Hope you guys are ready at home. There's just 1 race left to go. This is it then. The 196th encounter on track this year. Thank you to WRX Stats for working that out earlier on. We've got a monumental title fight on between two men, Andreas Backerud and Timmy Hansen. Neil Cole is with Backerud.
This is it, Andreas. It's the final. Is this the best place to be? How are you feeling as you're about to launch into the last race of the season?
Obviously the best place to be is in pole position, but I know my task and I feel pretty pumped. And probably very exciting for the guys back home, especially the guys at Felix in Bergen. So, yeah, it's a nice thing.
Good luck, Andreas.
Thank you.
He's as tense as hell. So am I. I know you guys will be at home. I know you will be watching in Bergen. I went over to Bergen earlier on this year, and Andreas wasn't even sure if he was going to be competing. Neither were the Hansens. You know, people scratched together. You know, over the winter, people said, "Oh, the manufacturer teams are gone. The World Rallycross Championship's dead." I've never seen it more alive. I've never seen a better championship season. Timmy Hansen's with Neil now.
Timmy, last thoughts before the last race of the season. It's a crucial one.
Let's get it.
Good luck.
Yeah, and another guy with a big smile, but that is
short and sweet.
That's the shortest Timmy Hansen interview I've ever seen. There they are, bottom right of your screen. 208 points to Timmy Hansen, 206 to Andreas Backerud. A 2-point differential between them. Kevin Hansen is 11 points back, and therefore he is out of championship contention. And he's also too far back from Andreas Backerud to take P2 in the standings, I think. So it's a straight fight between Timmy and Andreas. Got a feel for Kevin. He led the World Championship this year. Led it twice, in fact. Led it down Abu Dhabi. Got it again later in the season. I think he led it in Sweden and Canada. He's done a brilliant job for the first time in the same equipment as his brother Timmy. Respect to Kevin for that. There's the Hansen flag. That's up on the fence. Up at the top end of the circuit. The door shuts on Timmy Hansen for the last time this season. He's alone now. Him, his thoughts. Maybe the words of his dad, Kenneth Hansen, Rallycross legend, in his ear. I suspect they won't be saying much. Timmy seems in a good place mentally. I can't believe it's come down to this. There's Backerud too. Now he has to gather his thoughts. Through the rituals one more time. We know he does right foot first, left foot first. Looks like he does right glove first and left glove first as well. Rolls the car away from the support of the team and into the potentially the most pressured place in the world right now, especially if you're a motorsport fan. Hansen versus Backerud on the front row of the last final of the year. I hope you're feeling it as much as we are. Kevin Hansen's there. Can he support his brother in any way? I don't think Kevin will do anything dirty, just as I don't believe Liam Doran would have done either. I think this comes down to a straight fight. If Kevin can help, he'll help, but I don't think he'll do anything untoward. Niklas Gronholm on row 2 cannot be counted out. He has had unbelievable pace, and his teammate Tim Azyanov is in this one as well. The Hyundais have been epic. Timo Scheider on his birthday at the back of the grid. I've never been so nervous. Dan?
I mean, I used to drive and I don't think I've been this nervous.
I know, I feel sick. I felt sick most of the day.
My stomach is in a complete knot right now.
A final practice start. Have you got the levels right? Do you go one more click? Do you leave it where it was? Do you make the decision that makes the difference on the run to turn 1? Do you make the decision that decides the World Championship? Do you get the start you got in the semi-final? What's left in your tyres? What's left in the tank? Gronholm and Kevin. I hope Gronholm and Kevin do stay out of it. You know, they have to. Of course, they're going to go for it. They have every right to. I kind of wish it was a 2-car race. It can't be that. We know that. It could be over by turn 1, but right now, it's just. I just don't. I can't imagine how the drivers are keeping it together in there. Final. That word. the final of the year. Jump start sensors being removed at the front of the grid. We've just got one more row to load. The longer you sit on that front row of the grid, the more the pressure builds. Sitting inside the cars, it's hot and it's noisy and it smells, and your senses are at their absolute peak, and right now that'll be even more so. Oh, I wish we had heart rate monitors on the drivers, I really do. I wish I had one on me. It's about that time, I think. Let's settle the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Timmy Hansen versus Andreas Backerud on the front row. Just 2 points separate them. Niklas Gronholm and Kevin Hansen on row 2. And on row 3, it's Timozianov and Timo Scheider. The marshals leave the grid. 6 cars are about to for the last time this year. It's incredible to settle the title like this. Anti-lag on. Eyes on the lights, eyes on the prize. 40 qualifying rounds, 20 semi-finals, 10 finals, and it all comes down to this. It's a great start on the front row for Backerud and Hansen. Backerud's got a best start. Timmy Hansen moves across. He takes the lead immediately. Timmy Hansen right underneath the trainer car. Scheider trying to go around the outside. Backerud gets the whole shot. Hansen is right up underneath him. Gronholm's there too. Scheider runs deep. Going to try and get past Kevin Hansen. Drops a P4. Scheider could get him over the jump. No, he doesn't. Scheider goes backwards. Backerud leads from Timmy Hansen. Gronholm is in behind him. As it stands, Backerud would win the World Rallycross Championship, but he's got to win this race first.
Unbelievable start by Andreas there. He knew what he had to do. He didn't crack under the pressure. He nailed it in the semi. Now he's nailed it here.
Hansen up the inside. Hansen up the inside. The hairpin backwards in the wall. Oh, Hansen spins. He's in the dirt. Kevin goes the other way. Andreas Backerud has probably won the World Rallycross Championship in that bottom hairpin. Gronholm leads. Backerud is there. Oh my goodness me. Both the Hansen cars span in the dirt at the bottom of the hill.
Timmy's still going around.
Timmy's back in P5. He's a long way down in P5. The Hansens up in the sports tower on the radio. Has it all gone wrong at the last minute? Oh, unbelievable. Gronholm leads from Andreas Backerud. You can hear the crowd have gone mad. I kind of wanted the race to go on longer after all the build-up. But there's 4 laps to go. This isn't over yet.
Yeah, you don't know what damage Andreas picked up. It could have been something. He might have a puncture. You never know. Could have broken the steering. It could have been anything. Scheider's gone to the Joker.
So Scheider's gone Joker and Timmy Hansen has it. Kevin Hansen went Joker. Timmy's getting a drop right back when he takes the Joker. Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backerud. Timmy had a look up the inside of Andreas, don't forget. He made the move down at the bottom hairpin, so they were side by side down. What's your take on it?
I mean, you have to say it's a bit of a racing incident there. Andreas ran wide. Fair enough for Timmy to go for the gap, but you can't expect them to both just, roll over and give it up.
But no one's going to give up. This is the World Championship in one race. It's a World Championship in 4 minutes 15. Scheider with a problem. Timo Scheider's pulled off to the side of the track. He's not going to get the result he wanted on his birthday. Andreas Backerud has 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go now. He's ticking them off to make his dreams come true. We're watching the timing screen to see if any kind of a penalty is going to come up. Gronholm into the right-hander. Niklas Gronholm's out front. We said, didn't we, had our money on him? Go, Dan.
This isn't over yet. I mean, Timozianov joked and Backerud hasn't. If he drops behind Timozianov, Timmy could still be on to win this by 1 point.
Oh, my goodness me. Incredible spot by Dan Rook. Backerud has still got to beat Timozianov. Timozianov could make the difference in the World Rallycross Championship. So Gronholm leads. Backerud, is he nursing a damaged car? Is Timozianov going to beat him? Timmy Hansen goes into the Joker lap now. The Hansen to be doing the maths as well. I saw a look on Dan's face of utter panic as he's figured it out. So Timmy Hansen, we think, so we're thinking they're equal on points now. So it might be at the moment then that Timmy Hansen would still win the championship if they come together. Let me see, so it's 2 points back. Backerud would only be getting 5. Timmy Hansen would be getting 4, 3. It'd be 2 points. It means they're equal, yes. So Backerud won't. They'll be equal and Timmy will win it on countback.
This is just incredible. I mean,
look at them, they're trying to work it out in the spotters tower, Dan. We were all working out based on which one of them will win. Backward versus Timosyanov. If Timosyanov gets me, definitely isn't going to have enough. He's going to try and win. He's going to come down front. So he comes out in front of Tim. Tim's got a problem. Front right tyre is smoking. Backward through the chicane, down towards turn 1. So Niklas Gronholm out front. Timmy Hansen in 4th place. He's going to have enough. He's going to fight back from that spin. It should be enough to win him the World Rallycross Championship.
Timmy can just cruise at this point. He can just cruise it.
Does he know though, Dan? Surely they're on the radio to him. Surely they've worked out to him. They must have looked at the points. Our predictor said it was 1 point, but it wasn't. We've reset it and it's not. It's equal. Niklas Gronholm coming around the Joker lap into the last corner. Gronholm took a win earlier on this year in Norway, but it was given to him by the stewards. This is a proper win for Niklas Gronholm. Andreas Backerud's going to cross the line in P2, and it isn't going to be enough. Backerud comes across in 2nd, 3rd place for Timosyanov. Timmy Hansen crosses the line in 4th, and with that will become the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Champion on countback. They finish level on points, and Timmy will win, and they're still not sure. That's what we think here. You have to bear with us. The graphics changed twice in that race. We think Hansen's the world champion. If it's on countback and they're equal on points, Timmy Hansen is the World Rallycross Champion. It is! Hansen into the donuts! He wins the 2019 title! Equal on points, but Hansen has more wins. Kevin Hansen's got the message too. The brothers are doing donuts together in turn 1. Incredible! Incredible. Backerud thought he'd done enough. We thought he'd done enough.
Just looking at the commentary position.
Backward's got his hands on his helmet. He needed to beat Gronholm. Our points, apologies for the confusion. Our points showed us he had 1 point, and then when it was recalculated after the moves. Timmy Hansen, there's Kevin out of the car. Each of the positions changes the points. I can't believe it. Timmy Hansen is the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Champion. He would have thought it was over. He was in the wall. It was over. It was gone. He made the move on Backerud. If he hadn't made the move on Backerud, Backerud could have won the championship because Gronholm got him. Timmy Hansen rolling back to the paddock, to the celebrations. Niklas Gronholm wins the final round of the World Rallycross Championship. Andreas Backerud is 2nd. Timmy Hansen is in 4th. Timosyanov 3rd. Look at the points difference. +5 to +3. 2 points. That was the gap. They finished the season level on points, and it goes back to wins. Timmy Hansen wins because he's won 4 times this year. It just seems.
You couldn't write it.
We didn't know he'd won. Timmy didn't know he'd won. They had to call him on the radio to tell him he's the World Rallycross Champion. There he is, with his brother right behind him. His brother Kevin's been supporting him all year. I thought Backerud had got it. I really thought Backerud had got it. Where we kind of discounted the Gronholm thing, it's just, let's take a look back. So the crucial moment is the pass between Timmy and Andreas. Andreas just got that incredible start, look. Comes down into the first corner. There's a nudge from the rear. So into turn 1, Andreas is leading from Timmy. So Gronholm's right in the mix. We're just going to take this apart slowly. Take a breath, everyone. It's done. It took until the final race of the year. We only have 4 laps left. Do you know what? I think the whole paddock only figured it out with 3 to go. This is the moment. Timmy looks up the inside here. He has contact with Backerud. Backerud hits the wall and then bounces out of the wall into Timmy. And then Kevin ends off the other side. So it was pinball. Look at this. Backerud can't do anything about that. He's bounced out of a tyre wall. There's nothing he can do about that. There's no malice in it. So the Hansens have gone either way. We're thinking Backerud's got it. Our points at tennis he had until they crossed the line and the positions were recalculated with Gronholm in the lead. Yes. So Gronholm in the lead then took away the extra points that Backerud would have had that would have made him the champion. You could see them figuring it out in the spots now. Dan Rook figured it out up here in commentary. figured out what was going on, and that it's not enough. It's not enough. He's had a look on his face that I've never seen on his face before of correct live maths, and he got it done. So, unbelievable. Niklas Gronholm out in front, taking the win. Timo's spin as well. Of course, Timo in front of Timmy. He was. Timo Scheider was in front of Timmy, and that made a difference too. Right, so taking this apart step by step, Dan. Timmy made a move on Andreas. Andreas bounced off the tyre wall, took out Timmy and Kevin off a tyre wall. They were not playing any blame anywhere for that. Gronholm took the lead. Gronholm taking the lead is what changed the points, because if Bakker had been leading as he was when we calculated the points on lap 1, as it stands, as you saw on the screen, Bakker was the world champion by 1 point. But then when Gronholm goes in front, he doesn't have enough. But I tell you, when it changed, what changed it was Timo Scheider. When Scheider retired, that's when Hansen came up a place. It's no wonder we didn't spot it, because everything was going on at the front. Bakker was the world champion if Timo hadn't retired. Surely.
Yeah.
Because Timo gave Timmy a spot.
There would have been an extra point, and Andreas would have won by 1 point.
So Timo Scheider retiring means that Hansen's the world champion, but you can't. If is the longest word. Crowd are heading down towards the podium. My heart rate's heading down towards something which is more suitable for being alive. Dan Root. We're going to take a look back at this, and let's have a look through and see if we can figure it out. Okay, we are going to have a look in a moment. Here we go. Right, so this is the moment. So Hansen gets into Bakker. Look, he's pushed him wide. Bakker hits the wall. Boing. Out of here. There's nothing he can do. Nothing Timmy can do. At this point, I'm like, game over for both. Gronholm comes through to the lead. Kevin gets a tag look and ends off to the side. Timmy, look, comes all the way back across to the inside. He's back on the throttle chasing after him. He never gave up. Thank goodness. So Timmy goes after, then chasing after the leaders. But I want to see what happened to Timo Scheider as well. We're seeing nothing on the screen about investigations, Dan, and I don't know, is that just because it's obviously a racing incident?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what happened with him. I think he dropped it in one of the chicanes. I'm not sure. I couldn't even remember. I couldn't tell you what corner, but I think he dropped it on his own. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a replay of that. I'm not too sure.
Well, we'll see what we can dig up. We will see what we can dig up. Well, there you go. Timmy Hansen is the World Rallycross champion. And well, you could see he didn't know himself. He didn't know when he crossed the line that he'd done it. The Hansens didn't know. You could see the monster team as well up in the spotters tower, frantically trying to figure it all out. Niklas Gronholm, let's be fair to Niklas. Okay, Timmy's out the car. Here we go. Come on, Timmy. One last time.
Probably should have popped the steering wheel off first, I think, Timmy.
He knows now. He knows now. That is a release of all of the pressure of a whole year of racing. 196 races, and it came down to the last 2 laps. Because if it wasn't for the Scheider retirement, Niklas Gronholm looking. Timmy Hansen up on the roof of the car, celebrating the 2019 World Championship. There's the release, finally. He's kept a lid on it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Look, Gronholm smiles now. Timothy Arnold's there, that's why he's smiling. Contact under car 21 and car 13 under investigation. I don't think that'll go anywhere. I don't think that'll go anywhere. It just can't. There's his mum, Susan Hansen. Kenneth will be down there too. It's difficult for those guys to get round it quickly enough. The spotters tower's so far away. Let's take a look at the drivers' standings after the final. At the end of an incredible season, after 10 rounds, after those 196 races, Timmy Hansen and Andreas Backer had finished exactly equal on points. And Timmy Hansen becomes the World Rallycross champion by virtue of taking 4 wins to Backer had won this season. Kevin Hansen is in third. It's a double podium for the Hansens in the World Championship as well as the Teams Championship. Niklas Gronholm, look, 4th place in the standings. He missed 2 events this year with an appendicitis. Timos Janov moves up to 5th. He won back in Belgium, probably my favourite win of the year. Balmanis has had an incredibly consistent season. He gets 6th in the season. Markland up into 7th. Liam Doran in 8th place. Monster Energy girls are up on the podium with the flags. We are waiting for Neil Cole, who's grabbing one of our drivers. Neil Cole is with the World Rallycross champion, Timmy Hansen.
Timmy, the Hansen name is legendary in Rallycross, and it's happened again. You are the World Champion 2019. Congratulations.
This didn't exist for me. This to come past the final, it wasn't on my mind. I'm in shock. I was so focused. I think I put in the performance of my lifetime this weekend. Now I'm in shock. What a season it's been, and to end it like we're a world champion.
You're world champions. Of course, there is some controversy about the incident in the hairpin. I can see that Andreas isn't very happy. What can you, from your perspective, what happened?
No, of course, yeah, of course nobody's happy when you're overtaken, but he went really wide, and I got on his inside when we were front wheel to front wheel, and the next thing I know, he spun me around, and I was I was obviously worst off. I was way back and fought my way back into 4th position. But what a race it was! I'm literally in shock, and I don't know what to feel. I wasn't prepared.
How long have you been dreaming for a moment like this?
I've been dreaming about this my whole life, since I was a kid.
You're still a kid. Congratulations.
It feels amazing. It's everything that I wish for.
Enjoy the trophy. Enjoy the podium.
Thank you.
Final team standings of the year. Team Hansen MJP are the world champions with 410 points to GRX Tanaco's 367. The Monster Energy RX Cartel get P3 325. GC Competition 191, Starred on 103, and GCK Academy on 75.
The FIA World Rallycross Championship of 2019. Proudly brought to you by Monster and all our associates.
Well, you can hear the local commentators introducing the podium. I'm really hoping this one isn't settled in the steward's room. What do you think, Dan? Come on.
There's no way that is that's been something that's happened on purpose. Andreas ran wide, Timmy got at the inside, they made contact, very innocent contact. If that tyre wall wasn't there, then...
If the tyre wall wasn't there, Backer probably would have got away with it and they'd have been side by side down the straight.
Yeah.
It's the fact he bounced on where Timmy says he spun me round. Lars Kenneth on the stage, what a legend.
Because your 2019 FIA World Rallycross champion comes from the same team, Team Hansen MJP. Let's hear it for Timmy Hansen!
Andreas Backer up on the stage is not enjoying this, which we totally understand.
That is an amazing podium, ladies and gents.
Kevin and Timmy, Andreas super disappointed. We'll hear their opinions afterwards, I'm sure.
Timmy Hansen.
The national anthem for the world champion. The Hansens on the podium with their Swedish flags.
Mr. Robert Hazeman from the regional director of SABAT, our
Andreas Baccarat up there in second is clearly very disappointed. The sunglasses haven't left his face, which again we understand. So the contact's under investigation. I know nobody likes that in motorsport. We'll have to see what happens. We kind of think, I think if they were that far side by side, if the front wheels were that close down, that, you know, well, there we go.
I feel like there's no way anyone really could have avoided it.
No, it's look. There's the trophy. The Hansen name has been etched on many a Rallycross trophy, multiple European Championships for Kenneth Hansen, and indeed one for Kevin Hansen. But finally the Hansen name is etched onto the World Championship trophy at the end of the most incredible season of Rallycross. Massive thank you to Dan Rook, Neil Cole, Laura Winter early on this season, the whole TV team, the organisation team as well. We cannot believe that the championship came down to this. Oh, Baccarat's so disappointed. Timmy Hansen celebrating the closest season of the World Rallycross Championship is over, and we will see you in 2020.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Niklas, this season has been very good for you. It's had its ups and downs. Your pace has been great. Finally, you got the win that you wanted.
Yeah, it feels good. We've been putting in a lot of work for this. During the off-season, during the season, and yeah, for my side, I've had really bad luck, and you know, we've been up there on the pace in, I'd say, every race. We had punctures in the finals and stuff like this, and this race, I feel that we were mostly doing really good, except the jump start in Q3. I think my driving was on a good level. So yeah, really happy to finally come out with a proper win and not deciding these races in the you know, stewards room. Yeah.
And just a word about